I've never really engaged sort of with global politics in my work before, and I thought, well, why not? This might be quite an interesting thing to do. I've never collaborated as a painter with another artist. It soon became apparent that she was going to be dealing with the kind of story of the extinction, and then I'd be dealing with the story of a possible de-extinction, bringing them back to life because of my interest in science fiction. The piece of work that's in the John Moores is an underground infirmary where scientists are, a bit like we're doing with COVID now. It's quite incredible that it almost foreshadowed what was about to happen, are desperately trying to bring back Neanderthals by taking little extracts of DNA from all of us in order to make sure that humanoids survive beyond the 21st century. So I thought that'd be a fantastic, macabre piece of work, which then Jean could put into context. So when we presented it as an exhibition, we did a little comic book.
I think I was just drawn to making something from almost nothing, the history behind it, and just creating something beautiful. It's my garden mainly that inspires me, and my studio is in the middle of my garden. Mainly I rely on visual memory, and the seasonal changes affect the color, composition, and feel of the work. I guess they are abstracted, and I'm interested in abstraction and how familiar touches abstraction and that point. It's not a specific plant or thing. It's quite invented what I paint.
You're always looking for material, looking for things that tell a story, things that are going to make potential subjects, and you don't even realize that you're looking. That you find something and it feels like it's come to you, and the John Moores painting was like that because that's part of a series of paintings that I created from seeing a view on the River Medway of a pillbox. And I've seen these all my life from when I was a child, and I'd walk the dog, and suddenly out of nowhere I saw them differently because I think the erosion along the river had been so great. It was like the bow of a ship sticking out, all the concrete, the foundations. And suddenly it was like an event had taken place. Over time, this scene had developed and I saw it.
There are two starting places. One was a willow tree that I was asked to prune. So we cut off all of the branches, and it's this experience that made me think all the time about translation into paint. The sawing, the movement of the branches, the wind, all of these things become a kind of narrative that I'm developing while I'm thinking paint. The painting itself is like recall, very, very vivid recall. The other starting point was the jacket on the blue figure. It's like a builder's jacket, which makes it an object translated into paint that is very much about sort of me doing building work or anybody doing building work. So there's these two things, the person doing labour and the tree and its fragility, trying to look after it, trying to keep it going.
So I didn't really have the sense of a relationship with the space or place, and I'd only really sort of visited it for maybe minutes, almost like walking through. That was sort of one challenge in a way, that I was like, how much can I really sort of get from it, or sort of do I even have the right to paint this? I mean, I've just literally just passed through it. It was a very peaceful place, I guess, where your mind could, you could really hear, sort of tune into kind of noises, bird noise, or I don't know, just footprints. But they sort of provided something which I love in trying to work with in all my paintings, that sort of sense of an arena, or props that could be used to carry out different kind of tasks.